Hi everyone, Sarah here from the Paper Cut. I'm joining you for a Craftalong. As always, let me know if you can see and hear me, and hopefully we have all of our other devices, the volume shut off so we don't hear any background. So yeah, anybody can give me a heads up that they can see and hear me, that would be great. So today we are doing the Birthday and Balloons Craftalong. So with this kit, you got a 10 count package to make 10 cards, and it's got layers in there, and I'll talk about those in a little bit. You also got some pre-cut strips and some white paper for die cutting. So we'll be die cutting, assembling and die cutting this. The original kit came with, oh, and I think I don't have my balloons here to die cut, but I will, that's okay. The original kit came with this die, and it also came with a balloon die. So the balloon die we are out of, and it's a discontinued one. So if you order the kit now, you are going to get pre-cut white balloons that you can use the white balloons on the cards, or you could use markers and color them in, or if you have any balloon die at home, you can use that. So you can still get the kit. It's a little less than what it originally was because it doesn't include the balloon die. So anyways, let's go down to the table. All right, so so everybody can see and hear me? Are people commenting that they can see and hear me? Okay, so again, if you have any questions, let us know. And I'll address those during, like right now, because I am live this time. Last time I did a Craftalong, I was not live. So these are the two cards that we're making. And this is your kit, and you have your instructions. Now in the kit, there are, and I didn't even open my kit yet, so hang on. I'm going to open mine while you open yours. There's envelopes, because we always include the envelopes. So you have, this is our festive variety. So you have 5 straight A2 cards. You have 5 festive variety scallop cards. Then you have 5 large white layers that the scallop layers layer on top of. And you have 5 small white layers that layer on top of the scallop. Now you are supposed to have 10 scallop rectangles. In the original kits that we sent out, they had a little boo-boo in the back, and they only sent you 5. So I took the list of everybody that had ordered, and I sent you 5 through the mail. So everybody should have that. If you don't, let me know. I know I have one pickup person that I didn't tell her, and hers are still sitting here on my desk. And then I think that's it. Everybody should have them, but if you didn't get the additional 5 scallop rectangles, you let me know and I will mail them out to you. So, but you should have enough to make 10 cards, 10 envelopes. And we do sell the scallop cards and the scallop layers pre-cut. So we have the scallop layers and we have the scallop cards. Now these are big varieties, so you can get a variety of all different colors, but we do have those pre-cut. There's not a die for those. Anyways, in your other little packet, there is white pieces. Some of them are for die cutting balloons and the background in white. And then there are, I think there's 10 of them. And then there's other ones to make your colored paper. So for the instructions, or for the homework, I had said if you're using a wet glue, go ahead and pre-make your rainbow paper. I'm going to make mine here while I'm with you, and I'm just using a tape gun. So if you already did yours at home, just sit back and watch. And if you're not as fast as me, that's okay. I'll talk and give you the skinny on some of the products and stuff while you're still working, because I might be faster with my tape gun than maybe you are.
Sarah,
yeah, question?
How would you like us to let you know that we need 5 more? Email is best?
Email is best, yeah. Yeah, email, because sometimes stuff gets lost in the videos. So email Sarah, Sarah, or info@thepapercut.com. So I thought I hit everybody, but if I did miss them, I apologize, and we'll get those out in the mail to you. So anyways, I'm taking just my white paper and my strips. I'm putting tape on the whole strip. So the entire length of the strip, I'm just adding my tape, and I'm just lining that up. And if it's not perfect, that's okay, the first one. Line it up with the edge of the paper, and I'm just laying that down. Okay, so then I'm just going to continue that with the rest of mine. And I know I can be faster with my tape gun, so I will try not to go too speedy McGreedy, so you have time to work along with me. But then I just kind of butt that right up against the previous one. So for your strips, I think there is 6 of each color, and because you can get more die cuts, than 1 each out of each one. So that's why there's only 6 of each color, because you're making this big long sheet and we're going to die cut it. So I am using the 65-pound paper to layer on here, and I am layering it on our 80-pound white. And that is because otherwise you can use the 100-pound, but it might get a little thick for die cutting. So I just used our 65-pound, and I'm kind of just, and if you don't like the pattern I put it on, or if you are like, I hate pink, you can go ahead and just do one that's all blues. Do whatever you want to do. It's your project. Yours does not have to look like mine. So yeah, just do whatever you want. So, but I'm just kind of pushing that up against there. And I did put tape on the whole thing. If you only put tape on the beginning and the end, then after you die cut it, all those pieces are going to fall off. So you put tape on the whole thing. And this is why if you were using wet glue, I said to do it ahead of time, because you want it to be dry to do the die cutting. So for today's, we're only going to do 1. You do have enough supplies to make 10 cards. And again, you do you. So you do whatever you want. Create your own project the way you want. And if you have other colors at home or pattern paper or whatever you want, that would be fun too. So here, I made my own pattern paper. Now, for the dies, it's up to you whether you want your stripes going vertical, which I did on this one. So this is the background. This piece cuts the background, and I did have my stripes going vertical, but if you want your stripes to go horizontal, you just turn your die the other way. The other one, my words, so this die cuts out all of your letters individually, and I did have that one go, on this one, I did have it go vertical. And then I die cut some balloons. Now, I forgot to bring my balloon die in here, and I think we used it for die cutting a different class. So I'm not going to worry about it right now. You guys are also going to cut out 3 colored balloons, okay? So for die cutting, you're also going to use a white sheet, because on this one you need a white background, and on this one you need white letters, and then you need white balloons also. So I am going to die cut.
Are there any kits left that people can buy?
There are kits left that you can buy, but like I said earlier, the kits now do not have, we're out of the balloon die, and it's a discontinued die. So the kits now have this die. It has all of the paper that I showed you, plus it has white pre-cut balloons that if you want this look, you can color with a marker, but you have your white balloons in there, and there's like 26 balloons in there. So you have plenty of balloons, you just don't have the balloon die. So it is less than the original price. So anyways, on white, we need to cut the background and we need to cut the letters. Now, one thing that I find helpful when I'm die cutting is sometimes I take a dryer sheet and I rub that, and I did have it here just a minute ago. I rub that on top of my die, and that helps so it doesn't stick. So where that went in the last little bit, I have no idea. I am going to turn around and I am going to die cut. Oh, look at that. Here's my dryer sheet. So what I was saying was sometimes I take my dryer sheet if I have a die. Now, brand new dies usually don't stick, but I have dies that have been used a lot. So I'll sometimes take my dryer sheet and just rub it over the top of the die. Now just be careful, wad it up a little bit, because you know those are cut lines, so you don't want to cut yourself. I don't think you will, but I always just wad up my dryer sheet. I just kind of rub it over the top of the die, and that helps stuff pop out a little bit easier. So I'm going to turn around. You die cut while I'm die cutting. I don't have my die machine there in front of you so you can see it. So you're just kind of hearing me now, and I'm going to die cut. And I'm die cutting my white right now. So let's get a colored card just so I can dump out the pieces on a colored card. So I have my happy birthday background, and then I have all of my letters that die cut individually. Then I am going to die cut individual letters and my background out of my rainbow sheet that I made. Okay, so that we did. Now we're going to take the same two dies and we're going to die cut the background so the colors are going up and down. On this one, I die cut just this blue and green section. Again, totally up to you depending on how you want to create your card. So I'm going to turn around and die cut again. Now your paper might be a little bit thicker here because we did just pile paper on top of each other. So this time you do want to look at the back of it and make sure that it's die cut all the way through because we did die cut thicker paper. So you might have to make some adjustments. Like right here, I don't think it's totally die cut through, so I'm going to run it through. Now usually I don't recommend like taking it, you know, I just kind of die cut it back and forth. So if you're putting it back on there, just kind of make sure it stays in place and you can kind of feel it. And if you want to make sure it stays in place so you don't get any like duplicate cuts, pop it into place and then hold it in place with a piece of removable tape. If you looked at it from the back and you're like, nope, that didn't die cut all the way through, and you're just going to put it through one more time. If depending on your die cut machine, you know, you might want to either increase the pressure if you're using a crossover tube, or you might need to shim it. So this time I can look at it and it's die cut really nicely. So now I'm going to pop those out of there. So I have our background. And again, this is why I had you do homework if you were using a wet glue, because you don't want to send wet glue through your die cutter. If you did, yeah, you might want to clean your die. So then we also have our little letters. We're going to pop those out. Now we're going to go on to assembly. What are we at for time?
We are 15 minutes.
15 minutes, okay, good. I mean, this is probably the most putsy part, I think, is assembling our happy birthdays. And then our cards. So as we get closer, if I'm running out of time, I will probably, you know, go through the final assembly. But now we're just going to basically assemble, making it look like this. So I'm going to start with just one of my happy birthdays and gluing the letters on. So I want to make sure to poke out all my things. Get it poked out. And yeah, I couldn't, my balloon die, I don't know what I did. I was not prepped with that, so I did not die cut my balloons, but you are die cutting your balloons. Okay, so we have our letters, and I'm just going to get some, I'm just going to lay some wet glue down and use a tweezers, and I'll start that in just a second. I have my little post-it note, and I like to use crystal lacquer for my wet glue, but you can use whatever you want. The crystal lacquer dries really fast. And I'm just going to put a pile of that down. Now I could use my micro dot adhesive, but I just found this was quicker. And hang on, my crystal lacquer dried.
Do you have any balloon die cuts at all?
I do have some balloons die cut, like for showing you.
No, for people to purchase. They're all gone, right?
Yeah, the balloon dies are all gone. I do have some die cut, so if you order the kit now, you will get the balloons pre-cut. Okay, I don't have any of the dies left. It's a discontinued die. So now I'm just going to take my letters. I like to just dip them in a little bit of glue, get a little bit of it off, and then attach my letters on top. So, and you have your exclamation point. If you lost the end to your exclamation point, you can just use a jewel or something. So we're just attaching our letters. And yeah, this part takes a little bit of patience. That's why you might not get through both cards. If you are working on another project after this, or you are not working on all the projects, you can work on this throughout the day, depending on how speedy you are. So we're just attaching our happy birthday letters onto our background. Now on our other background, we're just going to attach our blue and green letters. I'm just attaching my white letters to our rainbow background. So just keep plugging along. So we do have the Scallop Scored Cards and the Scallop Layers. Oops. And the large layer too. We don't have this smaller layer pre-cut. Our layering swatches are 3 3/4 by 5, but we do have the large layering swatch, which I do like to use a lot. It's 4 by 5 1/4, and that's just a size. I tend to do 3 layers, so I tend to do a card and then a couple layers. So I do like the 4 by 5 1/4 size.
No other balloon dies available, right?
No other balloon dies available, no. I do have a bigger balloon die. We have a balloon frame, and I do have a bigger balloon die that was, I thought it was a little bit big for this card, so that's why I went with that smaller one. So yeah, right now I do not have a smaller balloon die. But yeah, you can use any balloon die. So just keep plugging along with your letters. We're almost there. And I'm going to finish putting this one card together, minus my balloons, because yeah, I forgot my balloon die out in my shop. Because we were die cutting for the warehouse sale that's coming up in September. And those classes, I'm going to talk about that on Monday. So I will make an announcement of that on Monday. So watch my Facebook page on Monday. And we'll talk about the warehouse sale and classes in person, virtual classes.
9 minutes.
9 minutes. Okay, we're getting there because we're almost done with the putsy part. And then we will go on to just assembly of the card. Don't lose all the rest of your letters from your blue one. All right, so we have this piece. So that's our happy birthday with our rainbow background and our white letters. And I am just going to set my other letters aside. And these letters I had actually put on top of my green scallop card that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to transfer those just so I don't lose them. And I'm sure in here is the bottom to my exclamation point somewhere, so we'll find that later. So now we're going to get out our green Scallop Scored Card, and I'm going to put my wet glue aside. And we also need a Scallop Layer, and we need one of the small layers. And then we also need a yellow strip, which I didn't get that out, but we'll get that out now. Okay. So first we're going to attach that yellow strip to our white layer before attaching our white layer down. So attach your yellow strip to your white layer, and then we're going to trim it off. So you can attach it wherever you want. I did it about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom, and then we're just going to take a scissors and snip that off. Snip it off on both ends if you need to. Now we're going to layer. So our scallop rectangle layer will fit on top of our Scallop Scored Card, and then our white layer will fit on top of that. Now you guys have balloons. I don't have my balloons because I don't know where my balloon die is at the moment. Well, I kind of do, but I'm not going to run out and find it. So you guys are going to have your balloons, and they're going to attach right here. Now you might trim off the bottom of your balloons, and I did attach one balloon with foam tape and my other 2 balloons down. That's totally up to you. I did attach my happy birthday with pop dots. So I'm just going to turn that over, and I have some foam tape that usually I have my foam tape pre-cut. I'm just going to cut it thin as we go, and I did pop that up with foam tape. Probably won't put as much of it on there as I normally would. Let's see, so pop that up with some foam tape. 5 minutes left, we're getting there. So we'll finish this card, and then I will talk about the other one. So yep, just keep assembling with me, and then you have plenty of other supplies to make more cards after today with the fun happy birthday die that we're using and the balloons. Or like I said, you can use your own balloons. Oh, I need a little bit more foam tape. So yeah, this was a way to use that die, make your own paper, and then die cut, you know, with the rainbow pattern or the white, and layer on top of each other. Okay, so we are going to just peel off all of our foam tape. So if you haven't joined me on a Thursday, every Thursday on my Facebook page, I do a demo unless I'm teaching a class. So on this coming up Thursday, I am going to use this same die to make a card. So if you have the die and you want to join me on Thursday, there is a kit for that. It's called our Fun Time Thursday kit. And there is one other die that I used on there. I'll show you that in just a second. My fingers aren't being as nimble. So that I'm just going to attach, and I'm going to leave room for my balloons. So my balloons are going to go right there. On your blue one, you are going to take one of the large white layers. So I used one of the large white layers, and then my Scallop Layer, and I used my straight edge card. But again, you guys can do whatever you want. You have a whole variety of colors, so if you like some colors more than others, you're going to use a blue strip and just cut that off to the white, layer your balloons, and then layer your happy birthday. So then you'll have your 2 cards, and you can go on and make a whole bunch more. And on Thursday, for our Fun Time Thursday, we're going to use that same die and make this card, in which we also use this die. The kit is available with that die, and some of you already have this, but this is this whole little pack with the mini slimline card and all the paper to do that. And we're doing some brush blending to do our colors. So join me on Thursday, but thank you for joining me today. If you are going to be joining us tomorrow for the scrap along, we'll be making 2 scrapbook pages, and we will see you at 3:30 tomorrow. That's Central Time, right here. So thanks for joining me. Bye.